like me.
What's up? What's up, guys?
Good morning.
Quit being like that. Let's go.
Let's go. I do have new coffee this morning.
I don't know if I like this. You put the lid on where I have to hold it from the left. It makes sense picture-wise.
Oh,
Will it?
Thumbnail.
Will it? I was gonna say, will it pick this thumbnail?
Let's see. Okay.
I always just look so like. Guys, we're in the room. The Shoot Dang Hotel suite.
Did the name get changed from Bird Nest?
Kind of went down.
You okay?
No. Better now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're in here. You guys saw the premiere. You guys will be seeing Brandon's video. We'll get the perspective. He sent a link and we'll be watching it here shortly.
Yes.
I'm excited to see his perspective of this.
I'm always excited to see Brandon's videos because it is, like, he does so good. It is a perfect perspective of being out here, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's interesting to me just having somebody out here, how they view things, I guess.
Yeah. And it's just a different point of view, and it's also weird for me because almost every video out here I get to be a part of the editing. If it's Crocker Life, I'll watch it before it goes out,
or I'm like, I don't know how to edit this,
or like I'm just a part of something before it gets put out, and so I just kind of get to see that. So when someone else comes out here and films, it's always a little interesting. We've had people out here to film, but you get to see a little bit more of someone else's perspective, which honestly opens it up to, like, I wouldn't have thought of filming like this, or I wouldn't have thought of showing this part. So it's cool, and it I don't know.
And obviously his voiceovers and
I'm not gonna be able to match that.
Yeah, it's very micro-esque.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we have somebody filming dirty jobs out here.
It's a dirty job. There's a lot of chicken poop.
It is. Can't wait to get these chickens out of here. But Jason, why don't you close the doors?
They sleep in here.
Yeah.
Not in this room, but in the shop.
Yeah.
As of right now, it just is what it is. We get our eggs in a certain spot. It's clean eggs. Mm-hmm. We know exactly where they'll be. So it doesn't bother us that much, other than like the chicken poop and whatnot.
And then once they move, we can clean it.
Oh yeah. Once they move, they won't even. This is gonna stay. However you leave it a salad, it's gonna stay.
Yeah.
And I love that. In this shop, we didn't say a whole lot in the last couple of Crockers and all of that. We've been kind of teasing up to the point of doing this. I know some people are a little upset that we weren't working on the tiny house. We worked on this, but I think that was for multiple reasons. One, we hate sheetrock with a passion, and the thing is you guys know we've been doing sheetrock in the tiny house, and I really considered, what if we got tongue and groove and put it up and did it in there? Mm-hmm. What would we think of it? Well, the smart bet in our eyes was, let's do this room and see how it turns out and see if we want to do it in the tiny house.
Yeah, I think it turned out great.
Yeah. Now that we've done this, would you want to do this in the tiny house?
Price-wise, it's definitely a lot more expensive than sheetrock.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against it.
I'm on the fence, and here's
that's
why.
The way.
Here's my reasoning. We have a very not strict, so we can do whatever we want, but we have this image that we want of the tiny house, and we wanted a nice, like, modern farmhouse, rustic a little bit, but more on the modern side.
What did you used to always say at the off-grid shed?
Modern rustic or something, I thought.
Yeah.
Rustic modern or
something like
I
that.
don't know. You always made fun of it, that's all I know.
I know.
But it looks amazing. But it does have a lot of imperfections when the wood, the knots and, stuff like that, the little marks in it. It's freaking cool, and I love it for something like this. If we were going to, this is just my opinion off the top of my head, if we were going to do anything other than sheetrock, I would get the actual shiplap that is the like overlap, the I forget what they call it, like a half lap board or something, and it's super smooth. You won't see knots, you won't see imperfections. It's just smooth. It's like the tiny house that we filmed that was on wheels.
Oh yeah.
It'd be like that. So we took the risk and we did it in here to see if we would like it or not. And I prefer to do it in here rather than the tiny house. And now I know. Love the look. Looks great. Just not the vision we're going for in the tiny house. But now we know our options.
Also, wanted to do this room.
Yeah, like I said, multiple reasons why.
Yeah, since you guys know Brandon is coming out more.
Yeah.
And if it lands on whenever I'm actually here, not at work.
It is awkward to
have him in the camper.
Have him in the camper to sleep, not to be in the camper to hang out, nothing like that. More of just, at night. And I'm sure it's the same feeling for him. We haven't done it where they were both in there at the same time sleeping. But if, one of them needs to go up to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom.
It's like right there by the bunk.
Yeah. Or just little things like that where it's just such a small space. This gave Brandon his own spot. And Brandon's the type too that like we love doing our stuff, but he also has his little independence over here. He does his own thing. He can, film. If we're tired, he can still film over here. He can do all that.
Hang out with Lambo and breakfast.
Yeah, he can just do pretty much what he has his own little spot. We're at the age in life where everyone loves to hang out, but we also like our privacy.
Yeah.
And as you guys know, he is coming up a lot more, and it may get to the point where he's up here a lot more. So we wanted to make sure he had his own space.
Yeah.
So that was another reason.
And then another reason was this whole shop, and especially this room. I mean, it truly has such a spot. I'm gonna speak for you in our hearts.
This was the beginning.
Yes, the beginning of it all out here. Yeah. I don't know, and then just to kind of see it where. I don't know, every now and then come in and just kind of look and be like, man, we can do better than this. So it's just kind of giving it its what it deserves.
Yeah,
I guess.
It sucked for a long time, and I know some of y'all are like, why'd you let the room get that way? Why did you let it get trashed out? Why did you
in the first place not make it look really
good? Well, reality is we bought 60 acres. That's not cheap. So, so we used our brains and we were like, we're on a budget. Let's not get credit cards. Let's not do all this stuff. Let's do it with what we have and make it work. And that's what we did. And you guys also know we didn't do insulation. And it did cross my mind, should we rip the sheetrock off, put insulation and all of that? I'm glad we didn't. To be honest, Brandon had it going, a little heat source in here, and we went and did our stuff. We went live and all that on Friday, and he came back over here, and he texted, he was like, dude, it's warm. It's warm in here. And he had just a normal sleeping bag, not zero rate or anything like that, and he was perfectly fine. Now, just like the camper that has insulation, when you turn off your heat or you don't have the AC or you whatever, and it'll get hot or cold instantly. It's the same thing in the camper, and the camper even has insulation. Not much, but it has some. In here, no insulation, same thing. But we have a wood-burning stove. Yeah. And that's what Brandon utilized.
I mean, would you call so you did tar paper and sheetrock underneath that. Was that kind of an insulation situation?
Well, it sealed the room. Not insulation, it sealed it, we'll say that.
So we got a sealed room here.
Yeah, and it really, truly, I mean, just sitting here right now, it's not freezing outside or anything like that, but just
I'm hot in my jacket right now. I've been wanting to take it off.
It feels different in here than it does outside, and we don't have a heat source going or anything like that. So I'm very happy with it, and I'm kind of glad. This is kind of cool that we get to do the coffee crockers after, and we get to answer all y'all's questions.
Yeah.
The floor.
I was about to say, maybe that's what I was going to get to.
Then you tell them.
Well, no, you can address it.
No, well, you say what you're going to tell me.
I was going to, but Jason, why'd you put concrete over the wood?
Oh, let me answer that.
Okay.
We went back and forth on this.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know we built the floor. We built 2x4s down. We put 2x4s down. We put plywood, and then we put like a vinyl clip together flooring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I left the window open and didn't truly think about it. All the rain, everything would get in, and I'm assuming it puddled on this side over here.
And kind of buckled up.
And it buckled up, and so I was like, all right, we're going to have to rip the plank together for the vinyl flooring up.
Mm-hmm.
We can either put more plywood down and screw it in real good, make it flat, buy more cooked together vinyl, and then just whatever and hope that it works good, or we rip it all out, everything we did, the whole floor, everything, and then put concrete in. Because I was like, no, and you're like, well, why not? Why would you not just rip it all up and do all concrete?
Oh yeah, because underneath it is concrete.
Yes.
That was my question. Was like, why wouldn't we just rip it all off and, I mean, not even put concrete down, just have that as the floor?
So when we built it up, these floors are already about that high off the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I wasn't trying, it'd actually be more than that. It'd be the 2x4s and plywood and everything, probably about 5 inches above the other concrete. And I was just like, I don't want to do all that because that's a lot of concrete to pour to get it up to the level we need, or we have to build down and add more to the walls and stuff. And I could be wrong with this, I don't know. I felt like we had the concrete floor, then we have the gap, then we have the plywood, and then we have concrete again. I feel like maybe it would keep the floor from getting super cold or anything like that when the weather changes. And I thought maybe having that little bit of air would be kind of a way to keep the cold or heat or whatever. I'm probably totally wrong. It was just a way of thinking. And
then, honestly, though, at the end of the day, if we were going for concrete or floor, that it does make sense to put it on top, because to rip it all out, and then to like build down, everything.
Yeah, so I was like, and I told Danny, I said, I'm gonna take a risk. You guys know I'm willing to try new things. I'm willing to figure stuff out. Never have I ever poured a concrete slab. The most concrete work I've ever done was doing fence post, and you mainly just put the bags in there and you fill them up, and then
Okay.
Then we did the walkway at the tiny house at the old off-grid property.
That was kind of a pain.
Well, we learned a lot. I think we learned a lot.
We did learn doing that.
Yeah, so we have learned if you're using fast-setting concrete, you don't use a mixer. You don't do any of that stuff. Do not do a big project. You probably could if you're fast and professional. When you're a beginner, don't. So these were my options when it came to buying the different types of cement or concrete. Whatever the powder is before it's mixed together. I always get it wrong. But you had your normal concrete, cement, whatever. Or you had, there's many options, that. Or you had concrete that has fibers in it that's reinforced. Or you have self-leveling concrete, you have a topper that you can put on the top, all sorts of stuff. Well, anything as far as like a top coat, self-leveling, all that, was about $50 a bag.
Yeah, we're originally going to do the self-leveling.
Yeah, so I'll just say this, $50 a bag. I used 12 bags of cement in this room. That would have been pricey. I did the math and I said, nope, not doing that. Would it have been easier? Yeah. I could have just poured it in, it would level itself out, whatever.
But then, Jason.
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
So then, I already know where you're going. So then
up,
I was like, I'm just gonna go the cheapest route. It was like $5 a bag. I'm going to get it, and then it'll just, I'll make it work. But we gotta put rebar, we gotta do this. So it was like $1 extra a bag for it's reinforced non-cracking cement, and it's got fibers and stuff in it. So when you pour it, it even says on the bag, you don't need metal meshing or rebar. You just pour it in, and as long as you do at least 2 inches or thicker, you should be good. So I did it at 2 inches, and as of right now, it's only been a little bit. It's solid. Unless we're gonna jump off the top and land on this over and over and over, I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, but it is a test too to see.
Yeah.
So sampling out the fibers. We'll see.
Yeah, because out in the shop, we need to do cement work. So that was another thing, testing stuff.
Yeah. And then I really do like the look of it.
It's just
it's like
a different look. It's industrial or
yes.
Whatever you want to call it. We have stayed in hotels where it's like that.
It's like that style, you guys know.
Yeah. And
it looks good.
Yeah, one thing I think we might do, we have 2 coats of sealer, but I think I want like a thick coat where it's shiny.
Mm-hmm.
But it works out great for what it is. I'm very happy with it. I'll just be honest, very shocked I got it as level as I could. When we put the baseboards up, I was like, this is the test.
Yeah.
There's a couple of spots in the 2 corners over here where it dips down just a little bit.
Yeah, but
the rest of
it's pretty
big. Let me look like. Yeah. And I did it by hand with I had a 2x6, and I to be able to do that with no experience whatsoever, I felt confident enough that someone at home can do it.
Yeah, and it did put us on a time crunch a little bit because we did think it was going to dry faster.
It was so cold.
Then it did, so we were on a little bit of a time crunch to finish. So you guys saw too, we didn't get to doing like the ladder or the rails, but we'll get there.
Yeah, and other things too, if you guys saw the video, we put no decorations up. We didn't put stuff on the walls. The main decoration would be this stuff that we put out, and honestly it doesn't feel bare. No. You have your fireplace that's kind of like a whole section and all of that, and you have like a desk and
then again these chairs. This looks like you get it from West Elm with these things. So you saw these at Walmart.
Yeah, there is 2 pads, and then the chair is just your normal everyday. You buy like a cheap set at Walmart that has like a little table for your patio. Yeah. And I saw these.
Well, so because we just kind of come in here and be looking, trying to figure out what are we gonna do in here. Like we can get a futon, something, or maybe we just use that for storage and the bed will be down here.
Yeah.
We were racking our brains, and then I looked out and I saw these. I was like, well, maybe if we just put some pads on there and kind of put it in the corner, have a little thing.
I was 100% against it. And I was like, no, I want this to look nice. I want this to I want it when you see it and you knew that this was the bird's nest, that it was 100% different. Mm-hmm. It just looked different. And so, I was like, man, I don't know. And I was looking at nicer futons. I was looking at these kind of chairs, all this type of stuff. And then I walked and I saw these, and I was like, you know what? I think her vision with these would go, and it would make it look a lot better.
So,
is this the most high class chair you can get? No, but for what it is, and it's not uncomfortable.
And again, I feel like it does kind of tie in the look.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, and
what are the odds that the desk in town matches
this stand that was in the studio?
So it all
it really worked out, and it worked out that these had the grayish tones, which goes with the cement floor and the metal roof. Mm-hmm. We thought about covering the metal roof, but I love the fact that it's original. It's not original flooring, but it went back to what it was with the cement. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we're able to let this room live on, and we have our memories, but now Brandon's coming up and he's having memories with it.
Again, this shop, this room, the amount of greens, everything over here.
Yeah.
It truly, I don't think words can express how special it is to us. And then again, like somebody gets to be special for somebody else, and it just keeps kind of going. It's really, I don't know.
Yeah,
it could not be more perfect.
Yeah, this was like our fresh start out here, getting this property. We came in here and all that, and now Brandon gets to have his start out here in the same room. Yeah. And to us, that's just it's just cool. It's cool that we get to kind of share that with him.
It is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you guys saw in the video, I was a little nervous at first doing it. Y'all know this room was dark. It was
my idea to do the...
Yeah, no, I would not have done it like that originally.
I just wanted it to be different.
No, I know. It just... We weren't able to really pull off what we were going for, but we were working with sheet, and I'm not good with the sheetrock and stuff, and we were on a budget, and I tried something new by putting the wood, and then the color up, and then it probably went okay, but the way I did the texture looked like crap, so it just... I don't know, it was kind of like dark and gloomy. It was cool and it was awesome and everything, but it was dark. And as you watch the video, the room just gets brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. And it's just unreal the difference this room is now. Yeah. It is so bright and inviting that, like, for a while, I was a little embarrassed of the room. You know, how
it turned out.
Yes, like I was embarrassed. Like if someone came out and looked at the shop, I'd be like, "Don't look in there." Yeah. And now I'm like, "Go look in there." Yeah. You know, so
but again, we were in a completely different spot. Just budget and
and we didn't have a place to throw away stuff. We didn't have like a big store or a dumpster. We ended up getting a dumpster. We were able to throw a bunch of stuff away.
I just meant like the way we did.
No, I know. I'm just saying as well. So there was a lot of stuff that we were able to do that we just couldn't do before, and so I don't know. It's just awesome having that. And then I even considered kind of covering this window up, and you were like, no, that's the beauty of it. Is you can see out, and it is the old original windows. It is, and I was thinking, I want this to be like freaking just 100% different. But now I like looking out, like I'm glad we didn't cover it up.
Yeah, I don't know. That was my beauty of it, I guess, too. Is I just kind of coming down from sleeping, and you're looking out. Yeah. I don't know. It's the whole experience of it.
Yeah, and then whenever the shop continues to evolve or whatever, and whatever we plan on doing in the shop, whether it's working on projects, or we turn it into a place that we can hang out, or who knows, y'all. We want y'all's opinions as well. What should we do in the shop?
Yeah, we've had ideas. There's the thing about this old Shoot Bang Ranch is it's just endless possibilities. Like we can do this here.
That's the hardest thing is we'll think about it over and over.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we do this here or there. There's just so much that we can do. It's like the limitless possibilities.
Yeah, and people still comment on the video. We did the time lapse of this whole thing, and everyone's like, cool shot, but it's not worth it. It sure looks fine, but there's too many flaws in it. This and that. As I sit in it right now, I'm like, I couldn't imagine if we tore this down.
No, there's no way.
Like, this is awesome. Is it a brand new building? No, but that it has so much character, it has a lot of potential, and I think that's the thing that I hope we can inspire y'all with is, you may not have the biggest budget in the world. You may find a property, or even just want to find a property. Shoot, there's things that we looked at. We were like, before we bought this property, what if we find a house that's a fixer-upper and we don't even build from the ground up? What if we just do a fixer-upper? What if we do this? Well, we got both. We got the fixer-upper and we're building. Yeah. And so I hope that this inspires some of y'all of saying, this was a hole in the wall. Literally, a hole in the wall.
A tree growing in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was literally the most junky hole in the wall, abandoned area.
Just pallets everywhere, like a death zone in the middle.
And
you had to like get through trees to even like come in here.
And then just look at this room. And this shows the potential, and we haven't even touched the shop yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a little bit, but not to the extent of like what it could be. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what made this so freaking cool is, holy cow. Like, as long as you have a vision, who cares if anyone else can see it? If you have the vision and you have this dream of something, go for it. And I hope that this inspires you guys.
People will beat you down because they don't see your vision.
But let them. Who cares?
Let them.
Yeah. When it's all said and done, they'll see it. They'll realize it. And whether they say, hey, good for you or whatever, you know deep down, dang, I was right. The vision worked out. It panned out. It looks great. We love it. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So hopefully, at the end of the day, it's what we like out of our videos. We can inspire people. We can show you guys, think outside the box. Don't have to do everything traditional. You don't have to do, whatever even another channel does, or a TV show, or someone in your family, or whatever. If you have your own vision,
go for it.
Freaking go for it.
Yeah, and guys, the bird nest, it
lives on.
But I guess technically it kind of has a new name.
Well,
the Shoot Bang Shop Hotel.
Yeah, I mean.
But it's not a hotel because it's Brandon's room.
Well, yeah. It's maybe.
Yeah.
It'll always be the bird's nest to us.
That's right.
I don't know. I'm just very excited about all this. I'm happy with it.
I love throughout that video too. You just hear
random roosters
crowing. And stuff crowing.
Yeah. But I know some of y'all are saying, okay, now that you've done this, when are you working on the tiny house again? Are you gonna work on the tiny house again? What's the deal?
Never.
We sold it, and nah, we're gonna get right back on it. Well, we just got a notification of a YouTube video popping up. Yeah. We are jumping back into it. You guys know we had to work on the barn and all that. We're still trying to get the animals moved. We're going to start getting back in on the tiny house, all that. Again, this got us back in the motion of working inside.
And we haven't worked on a project together in a while, and it felt good.
Yeah, it did. It was really it was strange going from working on the barn completely by myself. That was my choice. I'm the one that did that. But to go from that and then in here, you guys can see how quick turnaround time is. So we're both
felt good too.
Well, yeah,
it felt good.
We're both motivated and we're ready to get back in the tiny house because we did this for ourselves, but also Brandon. Mm-hmm. But now it's time to finish the tiny house for ourselves. And you guys know we're getting married soon, and potentially would love to start a family, all that. Like, it's just it's a fresh start for so many things. And I'm not upset that we stopped building because now we're coming into it with fresh eyes. We're coming into it with a fresh attitude. Yeah. And I hope you guys are ready because I'm ready. I'm ready to start building. I'm ready to rock and roll and all this. And I don't know. At the end of the day, we couldn't be where we're at, and we couldn't go through all this stuff if it wasn't for all y'all's support. So
truly, you guys are the best.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. But if you guys are interested to see more of this room, check out the Crocker Life. We're gonna be doing stuff, and Brandon's video will be coming out after this, and we will link it. It's gonna be a premiere. You guys can check that out, and we'd love to watch it with you guys. So I don't know. I'm freaking pumped.
Yeah, it lives on.
It lives on.